Hi, guys, it's Mr. Davis. I'm going to talk to you about the top three options here on this April 20th choice board. So, if you're to look at all three of these options, remember you're not going to do all three of these. In the next 2 weeks, you're only going to choose four of these boxes total. So, two for the first week, two for the second week. So I'm going to talk about just these top three, the three reading options. So all three of these reading options are going to be based on the book that you're reading for English. Now, for some people, this is signed by their teacher. For some people, you get a book of your choice. So if you were to come down to the second page of this choice board right here, you will see, for example, in my class, you can choose Of Mice and Men, Adventures of Tom Sawyer, or if you don't have any of those books, you can choose a book of your choice. For those of us who can choose a book of our choice, make sure that you tell your teacher which book you're reading, just so we can keep track of it and we can help you. Okay, so let's talk about what those top three look like. So the first one says, read your assigned book, then create a social media post. That is Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok, etc. That would have been shared by one of the characters in your assigned book. So after you've read, let's say 30 minutes, just some period of time, you start getting into your book. You're going to go ahead and you're going to look and you're going to figure out what would the main character or really any of those characters post on, let's say, Facebook. So it might look something like this, right? Just writing the status. It might be a sentence or just a couple sentences, okay? But what are they going to say? This can be any type, doesn't have to be Facebook. Facebook's just my example here, okay? For each of these options, including that one, you're mostly showing us that you've read and understand the book, right? Whatever that book might be for you. The middle option there, it says, read your assigned book, then choose any song that represents the main character of that assigned book. Included 2 to 3 sentence rationale explaining why this song does indeed represent the characters. So for some of us, this sounds pretty familiar. The Ending Project, for some of us for Midsummer, you had an option of doing just that, choosing a character, and you're going to find a song that reminds you of that character. So, for example, this person chose Lysander out of A Midsummer Night's Dream. That's just the text they were reading. And they chose the song Heartless by Kanye West. So they think this song does a good job of explaining Lysander because it talks about how that Lysander is so heartless when he told Hermia that he didn't love her anymore, even though she used to love her. Okay, so all you're going to do is simply write down the name of the song. Maybe you put the link there. You don't have to. And then go ahead and give us 2 to 3 sentences explaining why this song has to do with your character. It can be any character out of these books, out of your book. Okay. And the last option, our advanced challenge option over there, is you're going to write an original rap or song that's based on a character in your assigned reading this week. That means this can be any genre of music. It could be pop, it can be rap, it can be literally anything, as long as you're telling that story, talking about your character. Okay. Important, make sure that you're bringing in some of that figurative language. So, quick reminder, our figurative language might be things like metaphors. It might be things like similes. It could be alliteration. Any of our options of figurative language, just make sure it has an example in there. Okay. As always, if you have questions about any of this, whether it's these three or anything else, email your teachers or talk to them on Google Classroom, or look to see when their Google check-in or office hours are going to be. All that's going to be listed for you. Okay. So remember, you're not going to do all three of these options. In that 2-week time span, you're only going to be doing 4 of those 9 possible options on here. Okay. Quick recap. The 3 options in the reading, they ask you to read the book, either the assigned book or the book of your choice. You're going to be doing one of these 3 things. That is a social media post like Snapchat from your main character, a song that represents your main character. You're going to find it and explain how it connects, or you're going to write your own original song using some of that good figurative language. One last thing, if you need any help or you need to find a copy of your book and you only have access on your phone, we've got a really great resource that Mrs. Stamper shared with us. It's called readanybook.com. So if you go to readanybook.com, it's going to be sharing what exactly books you need to read. Now, it doesn't have all books on here, but it has quite a few. So you could type in the title of that book and then be able to read it right off this website. You can do that on your phone, on the computer, or otherwise. As always, if you have questions, let us know. Otherwise, we'll talk to you guys later.